All right, here we are, home sweet home. Hippie Fiasco rides again. So good to be here in our new home on Frenchman Street, 505 Frenchman Street. Have you seen some of our commercials? That's right. Hippie Fiasco rides again. Hello there. Oh, it's always on. How come it wants to? Hello, Nathan Moore here from Hippie Fiasco Rides Again at hippiefiasco.com. Thank you for giving me a moment of your time. Many of you may not be aware, but every day countless works of art are being murdered. Murdered by kittens, little puppies, babies taking their first steps, old couples that are still together, sunsets, or slabs of meat on a grill. Only you can put an end to this injustice. Click donate at hippiefiasco.com. Your caring donations will give art a fighting chance. Thank you. Now back to the show. I just told a whole story too, and there was no sound. Great. All right, take two. Cut. Jesus, I can't even say it again. It's too many things. I forget to check the checklist sometimes. Do over. I can't do it over. I was talking about my first time to New Orleans ever was with the Slip when I was their merch man on the road, and it was during Mardi Gras. And I told a story about the first time I ever had sushi was during that time, and this big New Orleans local guy was shoving it down my throat, going, "You're gonna love this," and I couldn't tell if I liked it because I was so overwhelmed by the personality that was shoving it down me, and in a way, that sort of sums up my first experience in New Orleans because it was during Mardi Gras. It was all overwhelming, and it was so hard to tell, like, if I loved it or not. But now I've been here many times, and I definitely love it. A part of me lives here, and it's such an amazing place. But this is the song I wrote that first time that I came to New Orleans with the Slip. I wrote this song then, and eventually went on to form a band with the Slip called Surprise Me Mr. Davis. And this is Surprise Me Mr. Davis playing the song that I wrote in New Orleans my first time here, a song called Mardi Gras. Torn at the stem. There's a Mardi Gras in my head. I wish I wasn't born again. If wishes were horses, there'd be some in my soup. Time until Tuesday, dames on the stoop. But wishes on horses, tie cans to the carriage. Throw those beads at my feet. This is the marriage of heaven and hell. Listen as the clocks tell. Time is for stranger eyes, the boy. Here come the ramblers, there go the dice. We all start fasting at midnight tonight. And this time through, I'm gonna get things right. I'm down, wishes on horses, tie cans to the carriage. Throw those beads at my feet. This is the marriage of heaven and hell. Listen as the clock ticks tell. Drunk with the Zulu and show me your tits. But I am already the morning after, smiling and weeping, sweeping up all this shit. No wishes on horses, tie cans to the carriage. Those beads at my feet. This is the marriage of heaven and hell. Listen as the clock ticks tell. Oh, I love those guys. Maggie was just asking me if we had any Davis. There's a Davis record with Marco on it. He was a little bit on Finding Demo or That Man Eats Morning for Breakfast, but we did just do a whole session with Marco. I might have a rough mix of something here from the session. Definitely not anything finished. Where would that be? Oh, I know where it would be. Some crazy shit on here I haven't heard in a long time from that session. At the time the working title of the album when we were making it was The New Pink. And I got some of the session. They get really mad at me if they knew I was doing this, so nobody tell them, please. There was Only in Montreal, the original self-titled Only in Montreal, and That Man Eats Morning for Breakfast would be the three semi-official releases. And these are just rough mixes from the studio session that Davis is stuff we're working on at the moment for the new record. And breaking all the rules here. Just because I think it's important to break rules from time to time. Can't give them too much credit, these rules. You mean all the people that are going to the wedding reception?
I think so.
At the Rusty Nail? It's the wedding party?
Yeah, probably. So I told them, I said I might not go.
What time's the Rusty Nail thing?
They just got there.
Oh,
by the way, your cup was over there.
Was it?
Yeah.
I forgot I was looking for that.
I didn't. I told them that we probably weren't going to take the car over there. And then they said they were going bowling and.
I don't think I'm going. I mean, I could change my mind, but just blue sky, and I think I'm not going to go more than like 5 blocks past this patio.
Dude, I'm feeling your same vibe. That's what I said. But what I said was, you should take everybody from the bowling and come to.
Right. I'm twatting and face blasting now.
Okay.
Is somebody playing the bowling?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
I think they're just going to bowl. But people play there.
Okay, check this one out. This is really, really rough, but here's what we did. We had this garage. We recorded this record at Studio House, where which is, oh wait, let me make sure my mic is on. Okay. We recorded the album at Studio House, which is an offshoot of School of Rock. Paul Green, who started the School of Rock, sold the School of Rock franchise, and with that money, he started Studio House. And Studio House is going to be like a house outside of one outside of LA, one outside of Chicago, I think, and one outside of New York, where kids will come and live, and it's also a studio, and they'll learn how to make records. So it's from School of Rock, learning how to play, to learning how to make rock and roll records. And Davis got to go into the prototype Studio House and record on analog tape with a bunch of kids running around and eating cereal while we're tracking. A couple of times sock hops broke out in the kitchen. You know, we were just in the house with all these kids. You know, kids is loose. You know, a lot of them were all teens and late teens. So, you know, young adults. And it was crazy. But we had they didn't want us drinking or anything around the kids.
So we did all our drinking in the garage, and the garage became this really special place to us, and that's where we always hung out, in the garage. And at one point, we were all messing around in there, and there was like an air compressor, and there were hubcaps and all this stuff. And so we decided to lay down a rhythm track for the song using all the stuff in the garage, and we ran a microphone out of the window of the studio up into the garage, and recorded. It was so funny because the the Andrew had to keep the time. We already had the track done, but we wanted to add this rhythm track to it. So there was someone in the studio, and then Andrew was right outside of the studio window. Like, how did I describe it? The garage is here, and the studio is down here in the bottom of the place, the control room, and the window is here. And we ran a mic cable out of the window up into the garage, and then the engineer was in the window, and then Andrew was here between the window and the garage, listening to the track and counting the cue, and then the microphone was in the garage, and I think Brad was on the air compressor, I was on a power drill, Marco was on a bucket of nails, and Mark was hitting a stick on the garage door. And the garage door opening and closing is all actually happening. So here's a very rough mix of us playing the garage to a song called No Rest for the Wicked.
Stars are fading in the sky above the boxcar. Train rolls right along. Oh, my darling, what am I doing here? Where am I going? Are you still there? Huh? Got to keep me moving. When I sit still, I think of you. So I'm heading out onto the ocean. Right now, just pushing through.
Just for the sake of the label, I did that. I put in a little blurb, cut out part of the song. Now I'm talking over it. Copy, distribute, copy, distribute. All right, have fun.
This just in, you're now listening to an illegal bootleg. Fuck your friend in the face with your fist.
I'm gonna find myself
an abrupt ending because I made it abrupt. You know, just in case somebody's copying this shit as we're streaming it. I don't want to get it in trouble with the label or anything, so I'm talking over it, cutting out chunks, giving it abrupt endings, all that kind of stuff.
Wants the world, she looks away. A woman's smile is like the Mayflower sailing on April rain. A woman's love is like a lifetime.
So this is the song that Hippie Fiasco just broadcasted Stuart Brody laying down a horn section on. There's an entire horn section now on this song, who we then ran into again at another serendipitous moment of running into Stuart Brody was then playing horns with Iron and Wine.
The winter of her spring. It was the summer of my fall. A woman's body's overflowing, an uncharted ocean, to be sure. I laid down beside her and sank, drowning on the heaven's floor. A woman's heart is overwhelming. It's like a painting of it all. Everything that was.
Thanks for tuning in to Hippie Fiasco Rides again. These are new digs, 505 Frenchman. Fiasco is here all night, ladies and gentlemen. 505 Frenchman. We are locked in. Open the door. Witching out.
I open the window.
Sounds good. Midnight's the witching hour.
Winter of her spring. It was the summer of my fall. Woman needs no explanation. All she needs is love that's true. And sometimes she finds the way you least expected, man, deep down inside of you. Oh man, you better duck and cover. Man, you better drop and roll. This is too much time and distance. There's just too much you don't know. I'm telling you, I opened the door, I opened the window, she came through the wall. It was the winter of her spring, and I opened the door, I opened the window, she came through the wall. It was the winter of her spring.
When a woman wants the moon, she takes the man in it. If a woman wants the world, she looks away. A woman's smile is like the Mayflower sailing on April rain.
A woman's love is like a lifetime, keeps on going even after it's gone. And all I know of time and distance, I learned the day she said so long.
Hey, hey, Tide Mikey, good to see you, man. We got new digs here at 505 Frenchman, right here in the heart of it all. This amazing patio outside. So cool. We're home sweet home, away from home. Clue 8 is what you. The music is, the song is, this, not me. This is not me.
I laid down beside her.
Yeah, I'd say we've been partying up. Yeah.
A woman's heart is overwhelming. It's like a painting of it all. Everything there was or ever will be, just hanging on the wall. Yeah, I open the door, I open the window, she came through the wall. It was the winter of the spring.
Yeah, didn't it sound like me?
It was the summer of my fall.
Yeah, Brad. Woohoo! Yeah.
A woman needs no explanation. All she needs is love.
So you know what? I appreciate the suggestion. Oh yeah, my live voice is way different than the studio voice. I don't have to push so hard. Hell yeah, man. We'll still stink of it a little bit, Michael, for sure. Wait, what was the? Oh, Tide Mikey, thanks for the tip. You know, but I actually I'm not gonna go anywhere that anybody suggests I go tonight. I'm sort of sick of that. I want to go where the angels pull me. Not that you're not an angel. I know you're an angel. Not that you're not an angel.
It was the winter of her spring. It was the summer of my fall.
Well, that was fun. Some Davis, some sneak peeks of the new record. Here, wait, check this out for the new record. We still don't know what we think of it, but check out the vibe of this shit. That's my dad.
Like soda, but I've probably been known to.
wine, white soda combined for a drink that the Spanish call Tinto Verano. In the summer, the Andalusian bride, no such effusions, nothing less than divine. Will you remind me of very old high red, so robust with a kick that goes straight to the head? And don't the clouds look like rabbits and mice? I wanna hold hands, baby, that would be nice. Cut me a line, I'm carbonated with such a bubbly solution leaves associated. Now I'm through with these burgundy rhymes. Come and get me, come and get me wine and white soda, y'all from Cordoba. Wine and white soda, it all spills over. Wine and white soda, drunk, stone sober.
Alright, this Hippie Fiasco rides again. Nathan Moore talking over the track because these are very rough tracks from Davis' latest studio session. Surprising Mr. Davis. They're all going to be pissed off at me for playing this shit, so I'm talking over it. Just so the bootlegs, if anybody actually savvy enough to capture the screen, it's all ruined by my voice.
No regulator, we can swim to the moon, hop from crater to crater, you're a painter. When you spill your wine, blood on the tablecloth, blood on the vine. Throw me a line and kick up the dust. It's a song about music, it's a song about lust. I'm through with these burgundy rhymes. Come and get me, come and get me. Wine and white soda, y'all from Cordoba. Wine and white soda, it all spills over. Wine and white soda, drunk, stone sober. You can laugh till you cry. You can live till you die. And you can have what you want until you have it, you go.
Sorry to cut that short. You know, this is all just rough stuff. I don't want these guys to get too mad at me. There was one part of the song. I hear it. Boogie Dad.
Tired of slowing down. I'm tired of waiting around.
I'm gonna cut this music off in just a hot second and talk to you directly, so without the music going on.
Of course I learned my lesson.
You cut this
I
shit
can
off.
give some good advice. Still it's hard to take the same old river twice. When I know it isn't true, but it doesn't go away. No one asks what's new, cause they know what I will say. It's hard to have faith when you need it the most at the end of the day. Do you believe in ghosts? I disappear into these screens.
Hey, Dad. So good to see you. We're doing great. Chad, do you have another date tonight someone would like to know? And Dad says, tell Chad the people from Sheets called and were asking where he was.
You know, Firefly said, is she on too?
Uh-huh.
She said the girl was asking about me. After she Weird as she don't like it.
Dad, we've had quite an adventure. I know you were there for some of the Todd Snyder, the culmination of that story. A great moment of success for Hippie Fiasco Rides again. It was a culmination of a story that we started telling from the beginning, and we made it there at Todd Snyder's show backstage, and you were there. What you might not have seen or experienced was about halfway through that night, I started to feel really weird, and by the middle of that night, I was puking and diarrheaing all over the place. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how to clean that up. So Liz cleaned it up. No, I'm just kidding. I cleaned it up. But it was terrible. Went from a great night, such a happy moment, to just personal apocalypse. Came to New Orleans, and the first night I was starting to feel better. I thought I had the strength to go out, but I had the wisdom to stay in. And then I just tortured myself watching Hippie Fiasco and the fun I could have been having. I almost got in a cab and went, but I didn't. But I've been feeling better ever since then. All the food has been tasting delicious, and I don't know. I might have even been cured on some of them. Maybe I can smell again.
Can you smell again?
I don't know. It smells like beer.
Smell my hair.
It smells like shampoo.
Smells like. Yeah, that smell.
It smells like hair. Hey, check out our digs, Dad. We're gonna do a fiasco here. We're now at 505 Frenchman, and our both places that we've stayed in New Orleans have been magical. Right downtown, pure magic. And we're here right outside where Marco was playing last night at the Blue Nile. There's a lot of action on this street. We're right here on Frenchman, and we got this awesome, huge patio all to ourselves. It's hard to see. We might have to grab some lights from the car, or a light or two.
Yeah, yes, lights.
But you can maybe see through that window right across the street. There's a jazz band playing right now. That bar is free to go into. It looks really nice in there. And there's music and great food all the way up and down this street. We are right downtown, right in the heart of it all. Thanks to our host, Maggie.
Woo!
Exactly. Exactly. So we're doing pretty great. Everything is going according to plan, except for our viewer numbers. That's the only thing that's a little distressing, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. We have a mission that isn't hinging on any of that. It's just something I think about sometimes. But we've been here. We're at New Orleans. We're bringing the love, and we're receiving the love. I haven't really, of course, played in any official capacity here. I played with some street musicians last night and a few things like that, but no official capacity. But I have enjoyed some love. It's cool. Just where I was hanging out last night, a lot of people came up and thanked me for my music and gave me some love, and so they really appreciate it. I had one guy last night at the Marco show down out there telling me that some of my songs got him through some hard times. So that feels good. Getting the love, giving the love. It's great to be here in New Orleans. New Orleans is crazy magic. I mean, it's it's thick. It's a little dangerous, maybe. Good quote last night. I was getting out of the car and I still couldn't believe that I could just take my drink into the street. And I was like, "Are you sure that I can take my drink into the street?" And the guy looks at me and he's like, "That's sort of the point." And there's a certain lawlessness that is here, allowing people to be themselves and to take care of each other like we're built to do, returning us back into more of a more natural state of existence. And of course, it's a little creepy, but it's so beautiful.
It's a restaurant right down the street. I haven't eaten here before. Kendall has.
Sure.
Keep it creepy, America.
Keep it creepy.
That's right. That's our motto. We
I'm
gotta give
kind
you.
of a lurker,
We gotta
so
give
I
you
like
some
it.
buttons. We gotta give you some buttons.
I've been
Have
called.
you've seen this one, right?
Oh no, I love that one. I saw it and I want it so bad.
Have you seen our Killing Art button with Gypsy's face?
No, I haven't seen that one either. Hey, give me
Yeah,
five.
it's like Vegas like that, except Vegas is a a fake thing made by gangsters in recent history, and New Orleans is actually a very old place with a lot of beautiful history made by real people and musical cultures and rich cultures, storied cultures, and I mean we're in old New Orleans. You can see New Orleans off to the side with the skyscrapers and all that stuff, and I have absolutely no interest whatsoever to go to that part of this world. Here, where the music is, where the streets might be cobblestone, where everything is old and beautiful and just riddled with ghosts. It's just so amazing. And you'll be walking through town at 5 in the morning every time I've ever been here, and there's always a buzz. There's always a buzz. There's always something going on in that little, you know, bar, crazy bars, crazy lawless bars. I mean, the place right next to us serves breakfast. It's just a little smoky tavern where you can order breakfast from 2 in the morning till noon the next day. And great smoky bars, people walking around the street with alcohol, smoking pot on the sidewalk. I mean, it's. My brother once said, he gave me some advice. He's like, Nathan, everything in the world is not going to get better just because you're allowed to do drugs or whatever. And I thought that was a really great point. But on the other hand, it is so nice to be in a more permissive environment, a place where people are allowed to relax, to get loose, where it's a little bit encouraged, where the police are here more trying to protect and serve and to keep the peace than they are looking to punish people for somebody else's idea of how you're supposed to live your life. It's refreshing. It's wonderful. It's musical. It's intoxicating. I love it here. And that's sort of what it's all about. So cheers. I'm going to go have a cigarette on the porch. I'm going to let a track play while I'm out there. And we're here with you. We never go too far away. Dad, it's so good to see you out there. I love you. We're doing great. We have a great run of fiascos coming up. We leave tomorrow, I believe, for Fayetteville. And it's going to be some pure fiascos coming back up. I hope the orchestra out there is getting those kazoos tuned up. And here's one off my new record. I am touring my brand new record. The new record's called Dear Puppeteer. I'm super proud of it. And I'm going to let a little bit of that stream for you here. You should, Dad. Have you been to New Orleans, Dad?
Something happens to my words between my brain and my throat.
Oh, right, you have with Dad, with Daniel, Joe, and Granddad, right?
Trying so hard just to stay afloat, but it's rough weather. which foot is about to come out. Will it be my best one or the one riddled with doubt? All I know is if I'm quiet too long, I suddenly shout, I've got so much I want to say.
Dad, we gotta get you back here. I'll come with you.
So much I want to say. I don't want to push you away.
Maggie, I didn't even know you were here. Now you're saying goodbye.
To say
That goes.
I was carved from a block of wood 1,000 years old by a boy who gave me my eyes and arms and legs. He's getting pretty good at getting me to do as I'm told. But he can't hear me. I beg. My 6 strings, 1 head, 1 mouth, 2 hands, 2 feet. My 6 strings don't wanna, but I'm walking down this motto street. Gonna write a letter. Dear puppeteer, I don't wanna play here. I don't wanna stay here. Dear puppeteer, look close, you can almost see me breathing. Look up, there's a young man with a cross. Some nights the light's just right, so you can't see them. They're always there, so I'm aware who's boss. My 6 strings, 1 head, 1 mouth, 2 hands, 2 feet. My 6 strings, without them I fall down in a heap. Gonna write a letter. Dear puppeteer, I don't wanna play here. I don't wanna stay here. Dear puppeteer, yes, I am complaining. I've been thinking, and it's been hurting my brain. I am always young, but he is aging. It's different now. Some things never change. Like my 6 strings, 1 head, 1 mouth, 2 hands, 2 feet. My 6 strings, I can't be still and still be me. Gonna write that letter. Dear puppeteer, I don't wanna play here. I don't wanna stay here. Dear puppeteer, I don't wanna play here. I don't wanna stay here. Dear puppeteer. Sitting here naked, sitting here hooked, gonna get swallowed by an ancient book. Sitting here starving, sitting here stuffed, looking for my diamond, feeling rough, like a scarecrow, in love with a crow. Can't remember, I just don't know. My hands, they tremble like a windblown rose. Every day is an overdose, and I feel like I'm walking on air, like I'm falling downstairs in the basement. In the basement, sitting here broken, sitting here healed, sitting here betting down the line. I'll know the deal. I've never been a man, much for according to plan. Now I'd rather take a chance than make a stand. It's better than fading like a goddamn flower. Better than sitting here for 60 miles an hour. I need a little hallelujah to get the medicine down. God, if you can do it, put me back on the ground. 'Cause I feel like I'm walking on air, like I'm falling downstairs in the basement, in the basement, in the basement. I'm sitting here, walking a familiar lane. It's a camera, microphones, everyone's just out of frame. I'm all alone, it's a soliloquy. Nobody says nothing when I say line, please, and I say cut. But they keep rolling I got my thumb out, but nobody's slowing, and everybody seems so happy, like they know where they're going. They could all just be acting, there's no way of knowing. But I feel like I'm walking on air, like I'm falling downstairs in the basement, in the basement, in the basement, in the basement. It's true the talking heads in the news want to warn you everything is past, and yeah, but it could get worse, just to keep us tuning in forever. Somewhere soldiers sitting in the dead of summer, in the ocean on a platform, in the eye of a hurricane we came, but we could not get it together. Now everybody's gone a little crazy. When you're crazy, you don't know you're crazy, 'cause you're crazy.
You're crazy.
This should come as no surprise. Two glazed donut eyes like balloons when we untie might just float away, come what may be gone. People keep asking me rhetorical questions and then talking before I finish my heartfelt reply. So much sometimes I think I must be. I mean, everybody's gone a little crazy. When you're crazy, you don't know you're crazy, 'cause you're crazy.
You're crazy.
All the boats and trains, cars and planes to me are invisible. I only see the people as they go flying by. Can you believe that, asleep up in the sky? Multiplied we divide the indivisible, spend all our time fudging the numbers to make it all equal. No matter what or who we have to hide, and that's why everybody's gone a little crazy. When you're crazy, you don't know you're crazy, 'cause you're crazy.
You're crazy.
Hey, creepers. Howdy, lurkers. Welcome to Hippie Fiasco Rides again. We're here at 505 Frenchman, our headquarters for the night. You want to go look for food with me, Liz? Trying to get the word out. Hey, Firefly, I won't forget that either. Trying to get the word out about the fiasco tonight. If you know anybody in New Orleans that would like to come to a Fiasco, speaking of which, got a friend here I haven't spoken to yet.
And no, will you call my phone? I don't know what to do with it.
What?
Call my phone.
I think it's over here.
It's on vibrate somewhere.
I'm not staying here.
Okay. I know. But if you are, I mean, if you're here when the call comes.
What do we have to do when we go out? Will it just automatically lock? And then when we have
You've reached Quincy's voicemail.
No, I don't know. Yeah. So, what's the scene about locking the
It's calling it.
It's out on the table. Did you just look up?
Where's the cat?
There's a cat go in the hall.
Right. What do you make? I don't know yet. Where? Has that been open the whole time? Has? It's so hot in here.
Because the door's open.
Baby. Just got it.
Oh, did you look over by the beads?
for what?
My phone.
It is by the beads.
It is?
Yep.
We're looking.
Maybe under beads now.
We're looking for two things: the phone and Gypsy. Maybe Gypsy took the
Gypsy's MIA at the moment.
phone.
Do
Oh,
you think she'll outside?
And it's funny. I was like, "Is this mine?" So you were calling. I was hoping. So we found the phone. It was in my pocket. Gypsy not in my pocket.
So what's the deal with the?
Make other pieces. If I go like this once.
Oh yeah. What's the scene with the? What's
You
the
wear
scene
it
with the
tonight if you want
gate?
to.
Huh?
What's the scene with the gate?
I mean, we're supposed to lock it, but we can't leave it unlocked. But sometimes people come and.
We're definitely not going far to find food.
Right. Now let's smell that.
Mhm.
I don't understand my coat.
It's kind
It's
of
not really soothing. But if I was like going to an Easter party or something,
Right.
Oh, I
I'd
want to ask
definitely
you.
sport it.
I'm
This one, this one's a mean grain. It's from this woman that lives in San Francisco, but she gets pottery from the Ming Dynasty, like she's related to Smoking. So any piece is like 100 to 600 years old or something, like however long ago the Ming Dynasty was.
Right.
And she gets it and she just like throws it on the ground and breaks it. And then she gets all the pieces and puts stuff on it.
I came just like that.
Yeah, I like the
Or
sugar
with
down
the
one.
tar
Oh,
pit.
looks like
That's what I thought it was.
top like a little bottle of it. I think this particular piece of pottery was like 200 years old. Business cards. You're still in transmission.
Oh my god. So are we going on the bus?
Oh
We
my
missed it.
god, that thing was
The cult
terrible.
bus, they were the worst. The
What?
guy was so funny though with that double neck and that outfit. They had this bus. It sounded like it was a fucking like trap to get you in their cult.
Yeah, I'm gonna look weird.
root beers were like $2 a piece at that corner store, or like $2.50.
I spent $30 there.
I spent $30 there too.
Hey, Stephanie. Welcome. Thanks for crossing over the abyss into the world of the creepers and communicating with us and participating. Wait, Stephanie Hutchins. Oh, wait. From Easter? Wait. Stephanie? Was that her name? Yes, right? Awesome.
Good pull.
Welcome. We're here. This is yeah, great.
Ready?
Yeah, we're here in New Orleans. Look, Chad's looking sharp tonight. Chad, show off your get up before you go out. It's looking pretty amazing.
Everybody. Tell their daughters to watch out.
Steph says hi, Liz.
Y'all want anything?
Y'all want anything? Y'all want food?
We're gonna go get some food,
Okay.
but we're
See y'all
we're gonna be
later.
just in the neighborhood, so we won't go very far.
Okay, and then we'll put the anthem stuff up here.
Yeah.
Get some lights.
Yeah.
Alright, let me get my
We have
chairs
lights
up.
in the car.
Where's my car?
Stephanie says hi, Liz. Yeah, we ate at Mom's boyfriend's house and.
Oh, hi, Stephanie.
We're hunkered down here. It's Jazz Fest. The whole street is pulsing out here. We're in a great location. There's a band playing bands up and down, but right across the street there's one, and we got this giant balcony out here, and we have a lot of Mardi Gras beads. I'm gonna set my amp out up here and sing some songs, probably starting around midnight. So tune in, update your Facebooks and stuff like that. Get the word out, let people know it's our last night in New Orleans. Hippie Fiasco will not be coming back to New Orleans this time, damn it. We've been here once. It's the only town we're hitting twice, and it's for pretty good reason. New Orleans is worth it. And we just had somebody on here that's going to be at one of the fiascos coming up, I think in Knoxville, Iowa. And he was even. I'm glad you guys are in New Orleans now. Going to bring some of that mojo. I think he would prefer us not to shower, just so we'd still smell a little bit like New Orleans when we get there. But we'll still have some of it sticking to us, I'm sure. Will do, Steph. Creep along with us anytime. We're going to be doing this now for 2 more months, all the way till Independence Day at High Sierra Music Festival, midnight on the night of July the 3rd. Have a good night, Steph. Thanks for checking in on us. We're doing great. Midnight on July the 3rd at High Sierra, we'll be severing this stream, and the experiment will come to a close. And I think there's still a lot more things to reveal themselves to us in the next 2 months as we continue this epic mission. Let's not go that far. Come on, Michael. I've had this, new theory, from watching Chad work and different things I've thought about in terms of the way we are in this culture with our clothing and with the way that we take care of ourselves. And I know that as a writer, I think there have been times in my life where I've written better because I didn't change clothes and change, like every day we wake up and decide this new thing for the day, which puts us in a timeline and frame of thought. Each day's a clean slate. What am I going to wear? But if you wear the same clothes for a week, you suddenly slowly start to enter a different paradigm, a different way of looking at time and things and days and who you are and so many things. I think there's something to be said for not always trying to wipe the slate clean, but for letting yesterday still be with you, letting tomorrow come as part of the same unfolding. One breath.
What is that? What is that? I changed my clothes like 3 times.
Right now, Liz, on the other hand, changes clothes 4 times a day. And I definitely would not. I think it's all just interesting. some things I'd never really thought about before. I think that's just a whole other level.
Well, to me, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like some like I don't know. It's kind of like art to me. Like fashion is kind of. I'm not like super fashionable. All my shit is like shit. Like this is a piece of fabric. It just looks awesome. You know? But that it's like walking art to me.
It is. There's no doubt about it.
I wear like I always do it like that, but
Oops. Did I just do that? I want to say again last night, I'm still a little devastated that we lost the footage of our roundtable conversation after the reveal of the death of Osama bin Laden. You know, news channels and programs all over were having their commentary on the events. And I think the commentary that appeared on hippiefiasco.com was way more real, way more necessary, way more interesting, and way more fun. And then we lost the entire clip, and that really breaks my heart because there are ideas philosophically that we like discussing. Not that we're putting forth a belief system or anything like that, but on some levels, you know, on a good day, maybe we are. But more importantly, that ideas are being discussed that aren't discussed normally, and they're the most important fundamental ideas to our cultural existence. And I thought Katie last night and the people that were there were so brilliant, eloquent, and beautiful with what they expressed that I still am cringing in my heart that we lost that footage. But I just want to say that it inspired me to make a more concerted effort to get that kind of stuff more in here. And Katie yourself, I would like to see appearing in some regular basis on our show, just to espouse. We need to hear that kind of stuff. We need pep talks now and again. Where's Digit? Digit! We need a Digit pep talk.
DPT.
I like Digit pacing back and forth in the locker room talking to us.
Come
like,
on.
Win one for the giver.
Win
Like,
one.
you guys.
Oh, hey guys! Whoa, what do we got there? This is Digit and Midget, and hey team, why don't you sit down and listen to what I gotta say, because I'm only really gonna say this about one time, and I've been thinking a lot and reviewing the opposition's tactics, and trying to figure out the best way to defeat the opponent, and in discussing with you earlier, it seems like a lot of you just want to give up the fight and go home because they got what? Enough clips of you saying stupid shit about yourself, and Liz vomits on the ukulele hole, and Nathan only wrote like one good song ever, and Melinda's so sick of the male energy in the house, and so like pretty much like what I have to say is this is bullshit, and first of all, I've been studying it. And what I determined is, we've got to win one for the ring finger. We gotta do it. We can really do it. The victory is in the palm of your hand, and it's right within your reach. And the other day, I exactly a year ago to this day, I was in Kenya. And wait, hold on. How are you guys feeling out there? So I was in Kenya, and snuck around to the bushes and I flanked the fella quite hard. He had a double moon, and it was the closest because this was a year ago today, right? Exactly. Hold on, let me get my watch out. I don't wear a watch because I'm so down to the earth rootsy. Let me get my cell phone out, and it just feels better, you know. And so I was like, a year ago to this day, man, the moons and the basket have never been so close. I'm gonna flank them. And so I went around, and it looked pretty dark back there, but everything worked out smoothly. Um, when it comes up too soon, it's a big double moon. That's amore. When it comes with more than you ask it, like a side of fruit basket, that's amore. That's amore. When the moon is in June and you think it's too soon, that's amore. That's amore. I got my super twin Bob, and he's here to do the job. That's amore. Yasamore. Yakamuchi. Dude, he's awesome. I just can't get him straight. He's wasted. Look, this guy always comes up drunk all the time. I come up drunk in the morning, hitting my head on the bench over here. I beat myself up. That's why I get drunk. Don't, hey, don't beat yourself up. I'll be a therapist for you.
Alright, I don't know how to play this, but since Nathan's gone, I feel like
You're not scared of the camera at all.
we need to keep this thing rolling. So I'm going to attempt to play. I want to go back to my little grass shack and walk whole akahiki, okay?
Walk whole like a hickey. What?
It's just, it's, I learned it from Bugs Bunny,
Great.
which is where I learned all my classics, really, and really who Hitler was.
All your classics.
Yeah, I learned history from Bugs Bunny.
Hey, let's see
I learned about opera.
what yeah, we lost it in the yard. Hey, did this.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
This is Say's head that's cool tonight.
Dodo, Dodo. Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit. Bum, 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 bum. Kill the rabbit. Yes, kill the rabbit. Oh, mighty hunter of great fighting stock, might I inquire to ask, what's up, Doc? I'm going to kill the rabbit. Oh, mighty hunter, 'twill be quite a task. How will you do it? Might I inquire to ask? With my spirit magic helmet. Spirit magic helmet? Yes, my spirit magic helmet. Magic helmet. Yes, magic helmet. And I'll give you a sample. Bye. That was the wallet. of What's Opera Doc. Thank you very much. The next movement finds Bugs Bunny completely in drag, sitting atop a way overweight horse, dressed as a Valkyrie or some sort of beautiful Norse woman. And when Elmer sees him, he's so excited. Oh, Matilda, you're so lovely. Yes, I know it. I can't help it. Oh, Matilda, be my wife. And they fall deeply in love until Bugs' fake hair and helmet fall off.
Right.
And he is revealed as the rabbit. And the Fury.
And Ladyfinger might act out in interpretive dance that second movement.
I agree.
Together, because she has long blonde hair.
That's good.
And then Elmer in his fury.
In his fury.
Races to the mountaintop and sings. North winds blow! South winds blow! Hurricane! Typhoon! Small. And then bum 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 bum, he goes down to the bottom of the valley where Bugs lies broken, dead, next to a broken rose that is dripping its last drops of water onto Bugs' dead face. What have I done? I killed the rabbit. Oh, little bunny. Oh, little rabbit. He picks Bugs up. And he walks off into the backdrop. And Bugs Bunny looks up and says, "What do you expect from an opera? A happy ending?"
Wow.
What's Opera Doc? Anyone remember What's Opera Doc? They just don't make cartoons like that anymore. That's right.
Pick the words right out of
That's right, Emerson. They don't.
Really up to key. Dark Czar took the time to write "Oh Man, Easy," but not the answer.
Ooh,
What's up with that?
he's a nice guy, or he doesn't know.
This was the night with my dad. Just going through, playing a little bit of some highlights here since we're not up to much. Reflecting on some of the experiences Hippie Fiasco has had in the first 2 months here. This was a night with Dad.
You want somebody else to win.
There was a moment where I had a little heartfelt
Track to each of those.
Of course, that's an
The contest soon, by the way.
I think that there might not be anything more monumental
in my life than you doing that.
Oh, this is a
Working
good
out.
moment. This is Dad and I talking about how when I was a kid, he used to take, if a good line passed in a song, a lot of times he would stop the song on the tape deck and rewind it and say, "Can you believe that? Did you hear that line? Listen to that
But I
line."
definitely don't want to think you're sexy. But revolve around a precursor to a party or a good bowl of good pot of spaghetti or chili or something. But one thing Dad often did growing up was that he would stop a song right in the middle and rewind it a little bit, and he would ask me if I caught that part. That it was usually a line. It wasn't just like it wasn't necessarily a melodic or rhythmic moment. It was a line in a song. He'd be like, did you catch that?" And he would stop and rewind it and make me sit down and listen to the part that just blew his mind on one level or another. Remember doing that?
Sure.
I feel like Chris Farley interviewing Dad a little bit. Remember that?
Chris Farley.
You were there. You remember you did that? So, but what was that all about?
Well, that was
Rockin'
about
Robin was first recorded by Bobby Day,
Bobby Day.
1958. Later by the Jackson 5.
Ah,
Not to be confused with Dave Clark 5.
No.
or the Ben Folds 5.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess I was just trying to share with you my passion.
You probably did that for other people too. Like that, there was. But I'm more
Well,
curious. I'm more curious about the passion than you're sharing it with me.
Well, Rick Cook and I did it together because that's what we did. We studied lyrics, and I was always tuned into the lyrics as much as the music. You know, so when I heard something like that, I wasn't trying to take you anywhere in terms of you developing. I was just trying to tell you why that was cool. Well, what was cool about that song?
And that's sort of what I'm asking you now. Like less about the sharing it with me, but what was it you loved? What were you rewinding? What?
Oh, I was rewinding lyrics and melodies entwined. I guess you could call it music, but because I never rewound anything that was instrumental, I think for me, I was a poet, when I was listening to those songs, and they tap into me emotions. So that's the essence of poetry.
Right.
So I was trying to point out the poetry within the music, which I never think gets a whole lot of credit, and it's obviously to me, you've evolved into a poet who uses music as his vehicle. There's a lot of poets out there wish they could be a songwriter, but none of them are willing to recognize that a songwriter is a poet. They give Dylan a little credit, but probably more than he deserves. But it's a funny thing because to me it's more about the words than it is the music, because I don't have a good ear for music. Which sounds funny, but it's true. I know sounds I like, but I also need a context within there. So, and of course, I mean, if we put this on, right,